Hey guys, Ultima here, bringing you my D-Brigade deck profile. This deck is mostly focused around, just like any rush deck. You saw it in the title, this is a D-Brigade rush deck. Just like any rush deck, your goal in this deck is essentially to just pump out as many level 3s as possible to wear down your opponent's security and just win the game. But this deck has some fun mechanics. I have barely seen any black rookie rush decks before BT4. But with D-Brigade, I think that rush decks have a very fun mechanic that I'm about to explain in a second. So, let's start off with our Digi-Egg cards. We play a total of 5, of which we play 3 copies of Missimon. Missimon is essentially the standard Digitama for your D-Brigade Digimon, because its effect is during your turn. If this Digimon has D-Brigade in its type, I think. Yeah, it has D-Brigade in its type. It gets 1000 DP plus, so essentially just boosts all of your commander ones up by 1000, because you will rarely digivolve your commander ones. You will always try to run into security with your commander ones because you do want them in your trash, and they're the easiest D-Brigades that you can possibly play. So yeah, that's mostly for your commander ones. This will help your starter deck commander one to beat around blockers, because most blockers that are not from the black deck itself have only 6000 DP at most. So yeah, this will help pressure your opponent into not blocking your high DP commander mons. So yeah. Our 2 other Digitamas are 2 copies of Tsumemon. It is essentially just the same thing as a Missimon, but with 2000 DP and a different condition. This is somewhat more generic, but since we do play a lot of commander mons in this deck, it is very easy to trigger. What Tsumemon does is that if you have a Digimon with the same name as the Digimon that's on top of Tsumemon, it gains 2000 DP during your turn. So yeah, essentially it's twice the boost as Missimon, but it's somewhat harder to trigger, even though not really. It's not really that hard to trigger in this deck. But yeah, anyways, moving on to our main deck, we play 4 copies of the BT4 Commander one. What this Commander one does is that when it's deleted, you can look at the top 3 cards of your deck and then play a Commander one from among them, and then you put the rest of the cards underneath your deck. So this is one of the cards that are part of the D-Brigade gimmick. This is why I even play the rush deck to begin with, because this is what makes it fun to me. So yeah, essentially you just, as soon as you have a Commander one like this that is able to attack, just attack with it. You take a security from your opponent, and then also potentially restore your Commander one from your deck. So yeah, this is really useful, since you can just fire out some Commander ones for free, so yeah. Next up, we play 4 copies of the starter deck Commander one. I mentioned that before when I was talking about the Digi-Eggs, because this is the Commander one that you're most likely going to digivolve on top of your Digi-Eggs if you're able to. Because he is kind of your main beater for the deck, other than Doctormon, but Doctormon needs setup. So yeah, pretty much just a vanilla with 5000 DP, plus 1000, it takes down a blocker with it if the opponent blocks. And if you have a Tsumemon underneath and another Commander one on the field, it is even stronger than your opponent's blockers. So yeah, really, really good level 3 for this deck. Next up, we play 4 copies of the BT3 Commander one. It's just a 2-cost vanilla, it's exactly the same as a Agurumon, but with the upside that it's a D-Brigade, and also it's called Commandermon, so yeah. Oops. Next up, for our non-D-Brigade level 3s, we play 4 copies of the starter deck Agumon. This is just a blocker, but unlike Godsumon, it does not have the -2 when attacking, so in my opinion it's better, because in most cases the Godsumon goes down anyways, so having a blocker that you can just attack with as well without having to lose memory is really useful for this deck build. So yeah, that's why we're playing 4 copies of Agumon. Once the next set comes out, this will be replaced by a Commandermon though, because in BT5 we get a Commandermon that has 2000 DP and it's also a blocker without the minus, so yeah. Just be prepared to swap out that Agumon for a new Commandermon. Next up, we play 4 copies of Jazamon from the starter deck. Just because it has 2 cost for hard plays, so again, for rush builds, you do want to play as many 2 costs as you possibly can. And, well, 4000 DP, so it will not die as likely as the other level 3s in our deck. So yeah, that's why I play Josamon. And yeah, here's our last few level 3s. We play 4 copies of Hagurumon and 1 copy of Chumon. Hagurumon, as I said, has the exact same stats as Commandermon, so we don't have to talk about it anymore. And the 1 copy of Chumon is just there to not only have another level 3, but also to be able to cut off your opponent's memory gain in case you play against blue, or you play against literally any deck that can gain themselves memory. Black has not black. Purple has a lot of ways to gain back memory. If you play D-Brigade like against another D-Brigade deck, this can also help cut off the Doctormon effect, so your opponent won't be able to just play out a Doctormon anymore and get back their Commandermons. So yeah, Chumon is really good. Might bump it up to 2, but at the moment 1 is enough. Next up we play 4 copies of Sealstormon. This is kind of, you know, like, it is still a rush deck, but the level 4s that we play are either there to be just hard played or have D-Brigade in their names, so don't be confused about that. I think, yeah, there are some blue Rookie Rush decks that also play some level 4s just to draw. And that's also kind of what the purpose of the level 4s in this deck is. And Sealstorm is just a blocker, so yeah, just to be able to potentially prevent your opponent from beating you down faster than you can beat them down. So yeah. Next up we play 4 copies of Numemon. I do kind of count Numemon as an honorary level 3, but it's really useful to get out your Tankdomon because it only costs 3 and it's 1 to evolve, so you can also use this easily to pass turn in your first turn in case you don't have another level 3 in your hand. So yeah, Numemon just really good. I've seen some rush builds that play Tankdomon instead, but I don't really like having a 6 cost to hard play. So yeah, I do prefer playing Numemon because Numemon has all the benefits of a level 4 Digimon with the cost of a level 3, which also does play into the rush build. So we are technically playing, I believe, currently it's 29 rookies in quotation marks. We play 25, you know, actual rookies, and then we play 4 Numemons. Lastly, we have 1 copy of Babungamon. I was considering to bump him up to 2, but I feel like 1 is just enough, because the effect of Babungamon will rarely come up in this build. What Babungamon does is that he has Digiburst, and when he Digibursts, you can Digivolve one of your opponent's wands. One of your opponent's Digimon wands. Sorry, I had to clarify. So yeah, really useful to prevent your opponent from building up a strong Digimon that could potentially beat over yours. Or if they have a Digivolve blocker, you can get rid of that. So yeah, Babungamon is nice, but I sadly won't be playing more than 1. Next episode, level 5s. Yes, we do actually play level 5s. In our rush build, we play 4 copies of Tankromon. He's another D-Brigade, so yeah, we are maxing out on any D-Brigades that we can get our hands on. And he has a really good effect. It's essentially the same effect as the level 3 BT4 Commandermon, which was, you know, flipping up 3 cards off top of your deck and playing a Commandermon among them. This essentially gives all of your D-Brigades that same effect, just with 2 cards instead of 3. And it's not once per turn. I mean, the Commandermon effect wasn't once per turn either, but it was an on-deletion effect. This is a during your turn effect, so yeah, it essentially says the exact same thing as the BT4 Commandermon, just that it doesn't apply to Tankdomon itself. So if Tankdomon itself is deleted and you don't have another Tankdomon on the field, this won't trigger, but if any of your other D-Brigades are deleted, this does trigger, and that's really useful in my opinion to get out more Commandermons. Because that way, with one of your BT4 Commandermons, you can potentially get out 2 Commandermons. And you know, and so on and so on. So, yeah, really useful. You might have already gotten a glimpse at it, because I have my deck here in the corner. But I am playing 3 copies of Chimeramon. And before you freak out, it being like, oh no, this is not a black card, why are you doing this? Before this I was playing Darkside Attack, and I wasn't really happy with it because Darkside Attack has the limitation that it can only delete Digimon cards that are 7 cost or below. Which would also mean that you cannot, for example, delete Lucamon or something like that if you wanted to. So yeah, I swapped to Chimeramon. I originally also wanted to play Chimeramon in my initial build that I was playing with yesterday during a local Digimon card game tournament. And yeah, I just noticed that there's a lot of 8-cost Digimon, like for example in yellow, you don't really see a 7-cost level 5. I was playing against Imperial Dramon, and then there's Dino Beamon that has 8-cost. So, yeah, just to circumvent this, I'm playing 3 copies of Chimeramon. It does kind of suck that you have to hard play it, but again, it has synergy with the deck, because its effect is that when you play it, you can delete one of your Digimon, aka one of your Commandamons, preferably the BT3 one, and then you can delete one of your opponent's level 5 or lower Digimon without the annoying cost restriction. So, yeah, that's why I'm playing 3 copies of Chimeramon. And yeah, I'll see how it goes when I play with this Sunday in the German Discord tournaments, so yeah, we'll see. Well, Sunday by the time I was recording, because I was recording this right after the tournament on Friday. But yeah. Next up, we're playing 4 copies of Doctormon. I already put them out without noticing, I'm sorry. But yeah, we're playing 4 copies of Doctormon. This is essentially the Bushi Agumon equivalent in black, but don't really work with D-Brigade. And the reason for that is its effect. First of all, it has Rush, as I said. It is the Rush equivalent for black right now. We don't have any other black Digimon that have Rush at the moment. But what Doctormon does is that you can, once you've played it, which means you have to pay the 13 cost. It doesn't matter if you have the 5 commander ones in your trash and you're able to return them. You have to be able to pay the 13 cost, because it does not lower the play cost like effects like, let's say, Lucemon do. Like, Lucemon has an effect that says when you have 10 or more cards in your trash, it's not an evolution. Its play cost is reduced by 8, which makes it a 5 cost. This actually has to be played for 13 before you use its effect to return 5 D-Brigades to the top of your deck, because it gains you those memories back. So it does not reduce the play cost by 10 if you return 5 D-Brigades. So yeah, keep that in mind. But yeah, it is really useful to just get that last hit in. I did a little edit at the beginning of the video, you probably already saw it. Which is kind of like a meme about that, because I did beat somebody with a finishing move on of a Doctormon, because he wiped my board and literally had enough commander ones in my trash just to ring out a Doctormon. But yeah, whatever. I didn't really want to explain my edit at the beginning of the video that much, but whatever. Let's move on. Next up, we play 2 level 7s. Yes, we play level 7s in this rush build because we can just get out Doctormon relatively easily in this build. So we play 1 copy of Alteress and 1 copy of Millenniumon. I was originally playing 1 copy of Chaosmon in this instead of Millenniumon, but that didn't really work out that well. Chaosmon has, sadly, which is kind of weird, barely any synergy with Doctormon, because the thing with Doctormon is he has Rush, but it doesn't carry over to Chaosmon if it digivolves onto it. So when you played out your Doctormon, attacked with it, and digivolve into a Chaosmon to unsuspend it again, and then be able to attack your opponent's Digimon with Piercing again, yeah, that doesn't work with Doctormon, because once it is digivolved during the first turn that it was played, its Rush is no longer there, which means that Summoning Sickness kicks in, which means that the Chaosmon won't be able to attack it. And that's the reason why we're not playing Chaosmon in this Rush variant, but instead we're playing Alteress and the Millenniumon, because they have, when digivolving, effects that can either potentially board wipe your opponent, or just get rid of a singular Digimon that really annoys you. So, yeah, anyways, let me just explain what they do. Alteress, most people already know what he does. When he's digivolved, he de-digivolves once your opponent's entire board, and then he deletes any Digimon on the board that has 5000 DP or less. So, again, like I said, potential board wipe with Alteress, so it's really, really good just to have that, you know, like that potential board wipe to prevent your opponent from aggroing you the way that you do. And then he also has the effect that when he's attacking, you can, let me actually showcase this. So, let's say if Doctormon underneath, when attacking, you can return 1 level 6 from its evolution source, so in this case it's Doctormon back to your hand, which does give you Doctormon back for your next turn in case you have more commander ones in your trash. You get the Doctormon back to your hand, and then it's unblockable, so yeah, this also gets you another hit in, and also gives you a Doctormon that you could potentially play out during this turn, so yeah, really useful. Then we have Millenniumon, with its when digivolve effect being that you can send one of your opponent's Digimon to the bottom of your opponent's deck. which in most cases will cause them to never see that card again, so that is really, really good. And it also has the on-deletion effect that when it is deleted, while it still has the evolution sources, it just comes back, and then you'll have a Millenniumon again. So yeah, really good, but I wouldn't play more than one of either of them. Maybe two of Ultras, but yeah, you can play two of either of them due to preference. But I like to play one of each, just to have the options. So yeah, that's it for our Digimon. Next up we have our Tamers. We only play 3 of them, and we don't play any option cards in this build. We play 3 copies of Izzy Izumi. I know that we play 5 cards that aren't black in this deck, but that's a 1 in 10 chance. Oh, well, technically it's a 1 in 15 chance, I think. I don't have it like regularly in my head right now, but there's like a decent chance that you won't flip up either a Chimeramon or one of your level 7s with this effect. Well, let me actually just explain what it does. To clarify, when you play Izzy, you flip the top 3 cards of your deck, and if all of them are black, you gain 1 memory, and then you put them on top of your deck in any order. This does help you to get to a card that you need earlier, in case it is within that range. And he's also a memory tamer, which means that if you have 2 or less memory, you will always be boosted to 3. So yeah, that is really essential to getting out your Doctormon, because Doctormon does need you to have at least 3 memory to play it out. So yeah, that was it for my D-Brigade deck profile. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!